Very welcome to this Sport Horizon video on how to standardize your drill names when working with, for example, GPS data. What we're going to have a look at in this video is how we can use the concat function in Excel to join some strings and numbers together into one given drill name. The way we're going to do this is the following. We're going to create some different columns, and you can feel free to create whatever columns you would like. I've just added a couple of examples. Here we have a classification, it can be a type, it can be anything high level that you would like. I've just added some match, small sided game, large sided game, possession, etc. Feel free to add any sort of classification you want. I have added in dimensions and the number of athletes. You can have different dimensions, you can have the number of goals, you can have the number of jokers, you can have the type of grass that you're playing on, it could be the sets, etc. It can be a huge amount of things that you can add in. So I'm just showing a couple, and then you can go off yourself and create as many as you would like. What I've done then is that at the end here you see the final drill name. So if I were to add that this was a 7v7 game, you can see how that's straight away added as the final name. So whenever we add something, we can just simply paste this one and add in our GPS software or in the database or wherever you need that drill name to be added. So how can we do this? Well, it's actually quite straightforward. Once you know the concat function, which is a very handy function in Excel, what you simply can do is just combine these things together. So if I select equal, I write concat, and you can see what it's saying. It concatenates a list or range of text strings. So if we then just hit tab, we select this one, is asking which text would you like to concat, and we can close this one and we can hit enter. And you can see straight away that the first half is then being taken, so that's working fine. And if we then just remove this one, we select a comma. I need to separate my functions with a comma. You might have semicolon, it's up to you, have a look. And then I can just select the next one. I can close the parentheses, and you can see how they are then just concatenated together, and that's working fine. However, you might want to separate them with some delimiter, because if you pull this into Tableau, you pull this into Power BI, you want to acquire and do some modifications on this data. Currently, there is no logic on where the sort of gap of the information is split. So you might want to add a delimiter. And the way to do that is to add these signals here. Let's say I wanted a underscore to be added. You can do that as well. And then between these two markers here, the apostrophes, we can then add whatever text or space, whatever we want. So you can see here, I've added a test and an underscore. But if I just remove the test, hit enter, you can see how that's added. So what we can do then is to keep going. We can then add another underscore. It could be a dash, it could be a slash, it could be anything. And we can add another one, or we can actually put it in a bracket. So that's slightly different. We need to modify that a little bit then. So we make sure that the close bracket is on the other side. And if we now hit enter, you can see how that's all being added together. Then we can have just a final description at the end where we add this one and we hit enter. If we now just double click, bring that all down, you can see how that is all simply added inside. You might want to add a space here. You can see how we have a description at the end. So maybe you want to add a space here and then concatenate them. And you can see that brings a little bit of space. So you can also start adding if statements. So if this one is blank, then add nothing. If it has something, then add a space and then add this one. So you can play around a little bit, but that's how you very quickly can get a standardized name for your drills that you're working with. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Make sure to subscribe. We always love new people following us. So make sure to do that, and we will see you in the next videos.